Amy, you did a fantastic job, and we appreciate your time this evening as we were able to share a little bit about our AP enrollments, the number of students, the changes in the AP courses as they have been handed to, and required by the College Board. And so if you have any questions, we would be happy to answer them.
Mr. Heatley.
Thank you for your efforts. Can you tell me, what is the percentage of students that passed with a 3 or greater between 2008, 2009, and 2013, 2014?
You know, the data that we pulled was not the score data that was sent to the individual students and schools, but we can get that data for you.
Okay, then my other question
Yeah.
would be, what percentage of the students who are currently in our AP classes are in AVID?
Another good question, and we did not pull the AVID data with the AP data. But those programs...
I will have that, though,
Those
for
programs are well aligned, so that's a great question, because AVID is designed to support students in taking on those advanced courses, including IB as well as AP. So yes, great.
You know, one of my questions or concerns would have to be, we have put innumerable students into AP classes, which I think is great. We want to challenge them and have unmatched expectations. But if our educators aren't receiving or earning the 3s or greater, like they may have been in 2008, 2009, are they receiving undue pressures administratively, either building-wise or downtown?
Are you asking if the teachers are
Yeah, I mean,
receiving-
are they getting pressure if they don't have the same standards they had in 2008, 2009?
I can't speak for every building, but I'm going to just speak from my own personal experience, because as you know, I've taught AP courses for a long time. And then I was an AP coordinator in a building, and now I'm in the district role. But I have to say that we understood that part of our expectation with programs such as AVID were to encourage more students to take college-level coursework while they had the supports within the high school, regardless of how they performed on the individual assessment. Do we want to see students earn high scores? Absolutely. It's good benefit for them to get additional college credit. But I think the bigger picture, for me, that's always been the icing on the cake. And the cake itself is the fact that they're getting some experience with college-level curriculum and how to deal with that in a course setting day to day, how they interact with more complex materials. So that is another piece. And your question is whether they're getting pressure from their administrators. I can't speak
And
to a building.
here's what I know, Amy. You did a great job when you were at West. Outstanding job. I don't think people know what you just said. I mean, I don't think that has been given to our community, and all of a sudden we have this great number and we don't have maybe the scores we once had. But if you explain that in that manner, to me that's a positive thing that everybody needs to know, that we're changing the expectation level for all students.
And we're also giving students the opportunity to see they will be successful in college, that they can successfully tackle this complex information. And we hope that it encourages more students. And the AP data shows us that students are more successful and are more likely to go on to college if they've had an opportunity to take an AP course. And that is not how they scored on the AP test, but it's really about the opportunity to take the course.
Right.
Dr. Richard.
Could I just
Please,
speak
excuse me.
to your other question around the AVID students? We will be bringing you a report on that it would be mid-October.
That's fine.
And that does give us because that's one of the things that we do track, is how many of our students that are in AVID are also taking AP or IB courses, be it at West. As to taking that 3 or higher, we've had that conversation. Not widely, because it's not about actually having any kind of undue pressure, but we recognize that as we have provided in this district more access to many more of our students that didn't previously maybe see themselves taking an AP course or an IB course, that we have seen a difference in our scores. But we've also noticed that so many more, we're tracking kids going on to college, and that kind of success and achieving some things that maybe they hadn't thought were possible before. So that, I just want to reiterate, that's not a new thing, that is something that we've been talking about. And we continue to track that and have those ongoing conversations. So we'll bring you some more good data around that, specifically as it pertains to our AVID kids.
Dr. Richard.
Just a comment, then a quick question, that that change in demographics of that true
Yeah.
access by all students in our district is really exciting to see that happen over time. One of the questions I had was with the Colorado Legacy Grant that provides so many nice opportunities for teachers and for students with the incentives and the training. That was implemented 2012-13. How long does that grant go?
That grant is a three-year grant.
So we're in year 2.
Correct.
We're in year 2.
Year 2,
That is
correct.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was 13, 14.
Yeah. And we've been able to host a lot of those events here in Greeley too for our students. So that's been an exciting opportunity for our district.
Yeah, that's great.
Mr. Hall?
This is good news. It's AP is another piece of the puzzle, okay, and it's a very valuable piece of the puzzle. I would have a couple questions. I can't speak to like my other colleagues, but you've got this graphic data, or this by district and by high school, broken out in demographic, okay? How do the percentage break out of demographic in the AP classes enrollment compared to the demographic of the actual high school that they're from? That's my first question. Second question is, we've had a really nice increase in enrollment in AP. I would like to know how that compares to the overall increase in enrollment, or the enrollment status over the same period of time of just the general enrollment within that school.
And I don't have the exact date on that, but we are moving more students into AP. That enrollment is larger than the growth in the buildings,
Okay.
even though we have seen some growth in buildings as well. But it doesn't negate the fact that we're seeing significant growth in AP. And then the other question you have is about the demographics compared to schools. And you know what, the demographics to those schools is actually pretty close. And I don't have the exact numbers, but when I looked at it, I looked to see, are we comparable? We are much more comparable than we used to be. The one area that's maybe a little bit different is gender. We're seeing more and more females taking AP courses, which is a great opportunity. And for a while, it was the other way around. I know when I was in school, it was mostly males taking AP courses. So we're actually seeing a shift now the other way, where we have more females taking AP courses than we have in our overall demographics. But that's a slight shift. But we do see that change.
Okay. Well, I think that, there's some fairly significant, particularly Northridge and Central, when you compare the demographic. And I'd just like to know why that demographic difference is there. What are we doing that attracts this demographic, and what aren't we doing possibly that isn't attracting those? Because I believe that kids are smart. They're so that's all. Just kind of a marketing guy question, so to speak.
Well, and I think that's, as you understand, clearly part of the strategy of the Legacy Initiative is to actually provide opportunities for students, including transportation to the study sessions, some of those additional support opportunities, some incentives for test scores, paying for the exams. There's just a lot of pieces that they're doing that really help include students who otherwise may not be included. So that is part of what appealed to us about that Legacy Initiative. And we're seeing the differences in those two programs. And we'll also see some more. We also have some additional advanced coursework that we're not talking about tonight with International Baccalaureate. That's part of Greeley West. So that's why you see that we have some differences in all the schools that way, but they all have that same goal, which is that we're reaching those demographics that are represented within our buildings.
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Other comments? Well, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
presentation. Take our deepest thanks back to all the teachers involved in the program and to program support.
They work very hard and spend a lot of time to get these students ready for this, so
And the success is obvious, so we thank you.
thanks.
Well, this concludes this evening's meeting of the school board. We stand adjourned.
Hey, Kevin.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
I'm sick.